And welcome back. Picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. We're going to set the game speed to slow, because I'm just remembered that I need to do the upgrade to... oh, so many buildings. Because we're going to go through and we're going to upgrade all our benches, or at least start to upgrade all our benches. How many of them will be upgraded is a slightly different problem. Yeah, let's try to stick to only upgrading the benches. They're between all the houses, so we don't upgrade the houses at the same time. If we had the upgrade for the torches, we'd do the torches at the same time, but don't, so we're just doing benches. We'll have to come back when we're doing the torches. It's basically the same thing when we do the torches. Yeah, this is not going to be a big buff to fulfillment, but this is a buff to fulfillment. And they do get it becomes harder and harder to get fulfillment as you grow the city. So okay. The glide would fit right into Emperor, maybe persuade me the opposite. Well, I'm not giving you territory, so that offer can get bent. Now, if they were saying, oh, I wanted stuff that wasn't territory, I maybe might humor them. But the proverbial clay of the land is sacred to our people, even though we just took it over yesterday. Some of that might have been yesterday's territory to take over. Oh, I've got no benches in there. I probably should add some benches there soon. I'm missing some benches there. All the benches in there. Well, all the benches that are actually there to be upgraded are now upgraded. Yeah, as long as I roughly keep track of where we miss benches, I can come back and fix them later. No, the worst would be if I miss whole areas and don't realize I've missed them, and then we don't come back and do them. Although I might catch them when we come back to do the torches. Unless my benches and torches are together. Oh, I think we might actually have enough to upgrade all the benches. Although maybe only just enough to upgrade all the benches. I think that is all of them. Unless I missed a neighborhood, I think I hit them all. Yeah, so we started up here, we swept left, over through here, down through here, down through here, got everything in here, into the mountain, did the mountain, did the area over here, and out to the left. Yeah, so I think we've done all the benches. Now, there's a couple places I noticed over here where we should have benches and we don't. bench maker is not nice enough to retain the bench level upgrades. I'll have to come back through and upgrade the benches later in that area. But yeah, that should in time improve the... Wait, the bench was a service. Yeah, bench is a service. That should improve the service speed for service value here. Here we go. Got our benches, got those benches in, got those benches fully upgraded. And everyone is pretty willing to move in. We are receiving a grain shipment. And in theory, we have enough grain coming in per day that we should be able to... Although we might be having storage issues, slightly different problem. Yeah, I might be having absolute storage issues for the grain itself, but... Well, that might be actually part of the problem we're having with the, making alcohol through the years. I don't actually have enough place to store all the grain. Just make the grain storage bigger. It won't be enough for this season, but in theory it's getting delivered. It's just probably gonna get dumped right out in front of the throne, or left in the fields, one of the two. Although we may have just had enough to stockpile it all. Let's see. Yeah, if it does come in all at once, and I do the math on that, that's 450 times 16. So even 10 days is basically the storage, and we need more than that. So probably don't have enough storage for it all. So yeah, we need that storage increase for extra grain. And then yeah, I think I'm tempted to bring another 40 Kryptonians in to operate another brewery. Because in theory, we are grain positive. Oh no, we're not grain positive. The breweries were getting throttled due to the lack of grain. Okay. So they're unthrottled because the grain's in until we run out of grain again. Okay. Yeah, just need more warehouse space. So you got a hospital, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Okay, what's the next thing I want to do? We can get more knowledge to do more services. Architecture, or hearth upgrades, or light upgrades, or bathhouses. Rest home probably wants to be delayed as long as possible. Rest home could be worse. Rest home is a lot of fulfillment, but it's hard to balance that against how many people it takes out of the workforce, right? So, to appease the retirement community, or the desired retirement community, we'd have to take 500 workers out of the workforce. That might be just for the Dondorians as well. Yeah, it looks like it's 20% of the population for each of the types. Apparently I have retired humans. Apparently I have retired humans. And apparently they get some fulfillment for just being retired. Presumably they'd prefer a retirement home. But, yeah, we're going to not pay attention to the fact that we got some retired humans. Apparently we got some humans that have actually lived long enough. Our Dondorians haven't been that lucky, although the Dondorians live for a long time. I believe the Dondorians live up to, like, 174, 175. They live a long time. We can actually check their expected lifespan. Adult from birth, because they don't get born. Just show up your city. Where's the expected lifespan on there? I think it's in here somewhere. Oh, there. 180. So they live out to a maximum of 180. So we'd have to actually bring the retirement age down real low to make the Dondorians happy for retirement. Because our Dondorians on average are really young for Dondorians. The humans, on the other hand, apparently been here long enough that some of them are actually actually reached the retirement age that we've gotten set by default, which is 25%. Well. Yeah, I think we want to work on getting more fish in. Or... No, I think I need to get more services, so yeah, it's definitely time to bring another 100 humans in. And probably another 50 Dondorians in. We'll bring the 100 humans in first. And we've got them available for work in the library. And yeah, the other thing to do is just, we need more food. Food comes in, food goes out, and there's not a lot of food in between the two extremes there. Should have everything to build that. And we didn't get all 100 humans yet. Although they're still set to be migrating in, so they may slowly be migrating in. Oh, let's check up on the Sithlan storage rules. We want this to, again, be twice the population. So right now, we are exporting when we exceed 6,825, which is a little low, so we'll go ahead and tick there. Okay, so we'll go up to 7,000 like so. Still a little way off in the future. Right, we got more to mine. This is making the Dondorians happy, keeping that environment bonus from Sithlan. Domestic Dominator Cloud sighted. The Dominator Cloud was sighted nearby, a very rare phenomenon. This cloud-like entity moves across the sky at a glacial pace and influences the mind around it randomly. From orders to move in various directions to commands to kill. Okay, so Insanity is going to go higher, which is probably going to be a problem with the humans. Let's get another housing block over here while we're thinking about it. Because again, we're getting close to having all our housing full. This is, again, we brought most of these guys in, so they presumably found housing, although I haven't checked the homelessness in the area. Yeah. Although we're going to bring more Dondorians in, once all these humans are in. Yeah, so I want like another 50 Dondorians if I can. Okay, got moved in successfully. Oh, actually, we're still waiting for some of the humans to come in. Set that to 550. We're like 10 short. Although we've got enough people moved in now that we don't have an odd jobber shortage, so they're available in theory to be working. Okay, so we've got 64 knowledge, which isn't quite enough to pick up what we want yet. That's 80. Hearths are probably pretty strong. I probably want to do hearths. 75 for the hearth. Fancy light is also tempting. Yeah, I don't think we're making enough enough grain. Or taxing enough grain. Okay, we're being blackmailed by the Grand Duchy of Pladen. I'm not giving them territory, so we're going to tell them no. We're going to go out and look at our army. So you can see, yeah, the region shrank real fast, got down to 75. It's going to grow back from that, but not anytime soon. Okay, we're going to come to our army. We're going to think about regional recruitments. So we got up to 200 conscripts of Quitonian. 180 more of Dondorian, 110 of Garmithi, 400 of Human, 79 of Mivian, 50 Talapi. That is our set. Okay. So I think we want to grab an army of, or expand out to all those men. Yeah, we can probably expand the cavalry force by 70. And the rest probably need to be on foot. Edit you, not your banner, but your numbers. I'm going to take you up to 150. And then I think we had enough for like, yeah, let's say 500. We have enough for 500 more troops. Granted, that includes the 70 that we just made. Want to take these blocks up to 200? Yeah, let's take these blocks up to 200. Okay, so that would be 380. So I can probably run another 100. Do I have 100 Dondorians available for recruiting? I do. Okay, so let's expand the main 100 Dondorian block up to 200. And in 3 days, those units should be rallied to the army, making the army significantly stronger. Up in the thousands, the low thousands. Oh, that was someone we had a colleague deal with that's blackmailing us. Fiends. Debating making that trade to get colleagues, although then we won't realize they have no trade with anyone behind them. Well, that does open up more proverbial trade partners, right? Yeah, that would open up 3 more trade partners, I think. Think about it. But yeah, the Duchy of Faladen here is probably the one that's most interested in screwing with us. Opinion, rivalry, total. Okay, so they don't like us enough. That's why they're being a jerk. We tried to extort her, we said no. I'm trying to figure out if we'd been extorted by anyone else. I think it was just them. I think it was just them out of the current neighbor set. Yeah. And then army-wise, their army is probably actually small enough if we had to fight them, we could beat them after getting the army expanded. Oh, here they come, demanding us more. No. Although that was 0 to... Did I just say no to them giving us stuff? Maybe. Oh, no, that was to maintain... They stopped being colleagues with us? Is that what they were? Let me actually read the choice. Relations worship. Nectar to friendship. Oh, and they wanted me to give them 2.6 million. Like, how? I don't have 2.6 million. Okay, let's do a quick check on homelessness. Okay, so we need more housing in that area. That isn't surprising. We haven't actually added any more jobs down here, so there's not going to be any down here. Oh, we need a little bit down here. Oh, we were in the process of getting some housing in there. That makes sense. Carve the exterior abodes. Now I need the interior ones. I don't have the medicine to medicate, so it is what it is. Gone from colleagues to trade partners, okay. Insanity's going up to the roof. There's maybe an argument we want to be building more insane asylums following the event here, just get it back under control. Okay, so just that has helped the housing over here. We're gonna need more housing over here. Let's plop that there. We're not gonna give you territory. You gotta be a little bit more neutral than that. Yeah, I think this is gonna devolve towards war. Let's go get our army opposite their army. We can't accept because they're literally asking for money that we don't have. We got 1,000 men brought together. Okay, there's their army marching over there. Okay. Well, turn around, march to meet them. We are mentally preparing to defeat them in the field of battle. They are actually weak enough that we could overrun the army and the garrison together. So yeah, this is devolving towards war, and I think at this point we are accepting that it is going to war. Faction's gone from the state of trade partners to the stance of neutral. Yeah, this is devolving rapidly. And this is the first time it's evolving rapidly for a reason that is not my fault. Okay, how is the housing situation? Not good enough. Needs to be better. Okay, run out of cut stone. Well, that's potentially made it better. Yeah, that's made it better. Put enough in the area that all the problems with housing are solved at the expense of all my cut stone. You're up to 278 knowledge. I suppose part of that's coming from the fact that as we add more workers, they get more efficient. Yeah, we're up to 1.11 on the experience level. Oh, and the event. The event's providing 10%. That's not great. Because the event's gonna go away. The event's not permanent. Okay, well they declared the state of neutrality. Can I declare this a state of war? No. Everyone would be really pissed at us if we did that. Okay. Yeah, our army outnumbers theirs 2-1. If we were to attack here, we'd be facing the garrison. It would be about a fair fight. So I suppose, given the fact that we are sort of stuck in a state of peace, time to tell our men to have a training montage. Field army to train in the face of the enemy. So it's at 19 of 60, so that's probably not going to get 60. And then 17 of 53, 20 of 40, 11 of 40, 20 of 40, set of 33, so it's going to take a little while to train up. But as we sit here and encamped, fortified, they will slowly gain combat experience, preparing for the soon-to-be war. We're going to tell you no. Yeah, I feel the war clouds are on the horizon. It will be here soon, I suspect. I do suspect we are prepared for it, though, so could be worse. Okay, on the same note, I have a bunch of knowledge. I should be investing this in more services. We can do higher entertainment, do higher fighting pits. We can do higher architecture. We've got 300. Although I gotta remember, we're gonna lose. This event goes away, our knowledge cap's gonna go down by 10%. I think it's 10. Yeah, this is a bonus of 10%. So the target's gonna drop by 10%. So I'm gonna lose about. Oh, we're actually below target, so it's still going up. And we're going to lose 10%, but that's going to drop us to... Well, we're still below where it's going to drop us to. So this is actually the knowledge I'm going to keep. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get the entertainment trio. So we're going to grab speaker, stage, and fighting pits. I might regret that in a moment when I go check what they cost. Stage. There we've got production of all of that. Speaker. We've got production for all of that. The fighting pits is probably the most expensive one because it's going to cost us weapons. Although I only have 2 fighting pits right now. And we have the weapons for that, so we'll just take the weapon upgrades. Well, on the first one, and then I need more cut stone for the second one. And your cut stone, so one thing at a time. Here comes the grain. We'll find out if we've got enough grain. Or enough grain storage. I think we have enough to actually store the taxes. Good to see. Although that does mean if we want more grain taxes, I probably should have more storage. Okay, cut stone's in, so the fight pits are upgraded. Next, I think we'll go around and do the speakers. Get the speakers upgraded, and then the stages. And after that, we should actually unlock a title. We failed to do it with the Emevians because the Emevians didn't care about the fight pits enough, but I think we will be able to succeed here. that's enough for the first speaker. It's 40 each, so it's actually enough for the first two. Okay, next one. And yeah, well, we think we're going to war with the neighbors. Like the neighbors are deploying back to the other border, so we should attempt to mirror them. Oh, sadly, that does interrupt our train. We can't train on the march. Another speaker upgraded. On to the next speaker. Okay, army arrives there. It's going to be a while before we can declare war safely because of the freshness of the treaty. Greatest speaker, on to the next. Greatest speaker, on to the last one as soon as we get Cutstone. Okay. So, yep, the next thing to upgrade would be the stages themselves, which is the only thing holding us up is Cutstone again. Cutstone, Cutstone, Cutstone. It's always Cutstone. Honestly, if we had more Cutstone, we'd be doing more roads. More Cutstone roads. More highways. Yeah, fighting pit's trending up. A lot of things are technically trending up, but that's because they oscillate a little bit. Speakers are going up. So the speakers will get all the way up to their sort of maximum value as they rise from 66 to 100 on the upgrade. And the big things are holding us back. It's, well, big things we could upgrade without really upgrading is the tavern and the restaurant. Restaurant, we just don't have enough access. It's not getting enough food / not enough herbs or something. Although it's not very strong. It's definitely not as strong as the food stalls, which the food stalls also is access. Oh, probably the biggest untapped one is the last level in the well, 1.5. It's bigger than the hearth. The hearth's only 1.25. This is in a cold climate. Although the well is going to require machine parts, so it's going to be quite expensive to work with. Apparently I looted some from somewhere. Oh, and the insane have been solved by our existing facilities. That is the bonuses running out, the 10% bonus running out. So, where do we look relative to target? Okay, so we're still below target, so it's still actually trend up. Although the trend will start to peter off at this point. So we might actually get high enough to pick up Grand Arena here. We'll leave it alone. If we hit it high enough to take Grand Arena, we'll take Grand Arena. As we'll take Hearth and the Lights. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the easy-to-apply Sarah's upgrades. At some point, we'll be reevaluating trying to grab the Temple. The Temple, we realize, does need jewelry, which means we're going to have to actually transmute gems into jewelry, which is its own hurdle. Yeah, really the only population we're trying to grow that isn't growing is the Mivians. It's good to see. Most of the other ones are sitting at their stable point, which is we wanted them to get to a number, and they're at that number. Well, I probably have a shortage of metal, don't I? Why is one of... Oh no, that's a consumer. We got a smaller smithy, is what I'm seeing there. Yeah, because one of them... It's dividing by product type. So we got the tools, which is the big headline item. Armor, swords. We make... Well, we don't actually necessarily make less swords. The swords is a better efficiency ratio on the metal. So we need to make less people working on it. But yeah, we probably want another smelter in here. We can fit it. Can I plop you? Stay there without too many problems. And I need to expand the tunnel. Yep, that shouldn't be too bad. We might have to put more housing in the area to have enough workers to work in the metal smelter, but... And then before I forget, we're going to do... Copy area. I only put one... Yeah, I only put one space between them. Okay. Probably should have put two spaces between them, but... Copy those two. Oh, I see, I did the door differently. The other one's in front of a smith... Oh, well, let's copy one for them. Yeah, that'll work. Copy that repair. There we go. Oop, I turned planning on medicine. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, we'll get that metal going. We're still, in theory, making enough tools that we're waiting for exports to do its thing. We're closing in on starting to export Sithalon. We have it set to export at 7,000. It's up to 6.6. Yeah, all the grain becomes booze. All the booze goes out to inebriate our poor colonists, and then we run out of booze. I'm still not making enough booze to truly inebriate my poor citizens. Yeah, this does make fiber. We're gonna piles and piles and piles of fiber. Apparently my fiber exporter isn't working hard enough. Either that or the prices just collapsed, one of the two. Yeah, because it would have a price floor of 7. There's only one person willing to buy. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 people only willing to buy at 7, so they be working hard, but they. Is this the max catch range as well? The exporter, or is it on? Oh no, that was the limit. That was the ranged. This is the range. Alright, so we'll set the grab range up to max. You may go as far as you can to grab the fiber. We have a few extra people there. Sad day! Master of the Carpenters has passed. Assign a new nobleman to his cause. I'm not gonna hit the auto replace here. Take the speed down to 0. That looks like a Dondorian, so we'll just go find a Dondorian at the mines. To become the noble. And we will assign you to be a carpenter. Replace our existing carpenter. I suppose I had someone as a governor. Oh, I thought I set you to be a smith. Promote him so we have enough. Yeah. Okay. So you're now a smith. Got 8, that's fine. Oh, maybe I clicked off one time when we had a... I think we had a message or something that I ignored, that I probably shouldn't have ignored. You don't have enough metal smelters yet to really warrant an upgrade on you. We have enough smithies, but we'll wait until that metal smelter is done and we'll promote both of them together. Carpenter probably does warrant an upgrade. And the brewery doesn't warrant an upgrade because the breweries are eating all the grain already. Upgrading is just going to make them eat grain faster. Okay, so promoting you is going to be beneficial, so we'll do that. 250 and a 257, so that should be more fish coming in. You're probably the one we're going to be running for government. Masons is... Masons we could... Yeah, let's promote the Masoner. Anyway, these two want to promote together. And we're holding off. Okay. And I still have surplus promotions. Promotions we want to be a little bit pickier handing out than the actual nobilities. In fact, I could just bring 2 more nobles in if we wanted 2 more in. We go up to 10. Oh, I don't like that we're out of rations. There it comes in. We're trying to import enough. And out it goes. These aren't going to food stalls, right? Yeah. Make sure they don't go to the restaurants either. They're not going to the restaurants either. Good. Which implies they're going out to supply the army. What I'm going to do is countrywide access. I'm going to tell the civilians they're no longer allowed rations. So that should have applied to all of them. No one eating rations. Rations are for export to the troops. You're in the city, you gotta eat fish. Just make sure it's going to the right people. Okay, I'm gonna do a second one of these. Set to exactly the same thing, just so we get hopefully get a little bit more rations in. And yeah, I think we have a permanent boost from that superior livestock, so 5% boost to all the livestock. Went around to all the speakers, so all the speakers have been upgraded. All the fight pits have been upgraded. Didn't get around to the stages yet. Waiting for some more cut stone to come in, and it has. First 2 done. Got another 5 to go. Again, out here on the world map, we're mentally prepared for there to be a war. We think it's going to decline toward war, although the treaty is still too fresh for me to declare war. If they want to pick up a bunch of betrayal points for starting a war, they can do that. I'd be on board with that. But I need to avoid becoming the big bad. Because I might be strong enough to fight them, but I don't think I'm strong enough to fight everyone. And then, yeah, we did get over... Oh no, it does seem to be declining. Okay. Let's not understand exactly how the target works then. Where our target dropped? Yeah, because we definitely don't look at 23% below the target from the degradation standpoint. Although, that does appear to be what it looked like. So we're definitely... got a slight decline instead of a slight growth at this point. Although that could be because it's 20%, so yeah, I don't exactly understand how this degradation works. In my mind, it would make more sense if knowledge equal target. It is not quite how it works. Yeah, right now we got 160, so we have enough to pick up Lictor's Hearth and Fancy Lights. Which if we're not at 200 by the time we are done with all the stages, is what we're gonna do. Hearths are not gonna be bad. Hearths are a bunch of metal, which reminds me we were getting you going, so we'd have more metal. In theory, we now have 100 of those workers. Okay. So let's hit up the nobles and say we are going to promote you and you. And I need to assign more people to make coal and ore. That might be enough to get us positive on the coal. Is that going to be the case with the ore? Oh, and we got the title that we weren't able to get last time, the Entertainer. Gained by having good access to entertainment and shouting, "Are you not entertained?" at the screen, increasing happiness. So yeah, future runs we'll be able to get more happiness. I'm pretty sure I'm actually surprised we got it with that many stages done, but I suppose it only needs 70% in each. 70% in each title. Yeah, 70% each. So, and surprisingly, the one that was holding us back was the fight pits. Apparently, we just hit fight pits with 70%. Stages, we got to 73%. Okay. I'm gonna put like another 5 on the ore mine. Should put as positive in the ore, which is what it's predicting. And coal, I've been having struggles trying to keep the coal shipping, although we're apparently positive 100 on that, so that looks fine. Okay. Should be having more metal flowing, and in theory should have more tools flowing. Yeah. If anything, we're probably going to get backed up because the tools aren't going to get shipped aggressively enough. Or in this case, we're not going to have enough... Is that not enough unload? That's what I think that is. So there's 3 numbers there. You got hauling, which is getting stuff in. Commute, which is getting the workers there. And then there's, I think workload is... the building has an internal storage. So the internal storage is full, and you're waiting for like the warehouse worker to come and pick stuff up. Is what that is. That's maybe an argument that the nearby warehouse doesn't have effective capacity to store or transit goods. Although it is quite a busy warehouse. It's got 30 workers working on it, so... Oh, and the army supply is allowed to pick up from you, so... Maybe one of those where when we need it, it goes real quick. Oh no, because we're getting pretty terrible numbers on the flakadas. Maybe I just didn't put enough storage in these. Oh, or is it specifically a coal delivery problem? Might be a coal delivery problem. Yeah, because they're pulling all the way from warehouse 3 instead of the unloading station, because the unloading station is empty. Yeah, so I think coal's being predicted to be positive because some consumption of it is being throttled, not because it's actually positive. And the delivery is being throttled because it's... Oh, and a bunch of people injured at the mine, in particular. Yeah, I think putting more on that mine. What's the housing in the local area before I do that? Everyone here looks to be housed, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, let's grab another 50 Dondorians. And I'm actually gonna do another 20 on the mine. 20 on the coal mine. At some point we might go for the coal across the river. Because, yeah, we're actually surprisingly rapidly filling up that coal mine. The miners must mine to meet the demands of the industry. Okay, so outside of the Mivians, everyone's happy and moving in droves. I'm actually surprised the Mivians aren't happier. Although they're not happy because we're so well supplying the hospitals. They don't care about the fight pit, so the fight pit didn't help. They would like the massage parlor, which is not the one I'm supplying. Whereas the Dondorians like all the services we're supplying. And are getting pretty good supply of all of them except for the tavern and the restaurant. And yeah, the big untapped ones left is the hearth, the well, and the bathhouse, I suppose. And to get the well better, we're gonna have to go past bathhouse. So more coal and bathhouses everywhere. It may be in our future. Although there is the service improvement, which is torches. Half a point for torches. Or people just want more torches as well. McTam, 7th of Blassenstein, is notoriously petty, which is a problem for you because you forgot to congratulate him on his coronation day, or is it some relative's birthday? The most generic, well-wishing template your scribes created should suffice. Luckily, your peers seem to have forgotten as well, judging by the letter which cautiously inquired about whether you did too, and what special occasion it was again. Perhaps perhaps if none of you sent anything, the potential awkwardness could be avoided, and you could be fooled into thinking the fault lay with it. Alternatively, being one of the few who remember it, if late, would put you on friendly terms with them. So who are we? Blasenstan. The big one. The big one. Yeah, we're gonna appease them. We're gonna congratulate them. We're not gonna conspire not to say anything. Appreciate a letter a lot. Likely because they got so few others on this occasion. Plus 2 opinion. Congratulations, Sent. Yes, let's appease the really big guy. We don't want to fight with him. Before I continue onward with too much rambling, I think it is time to put the part break in here. The city is going well. We're up to 3.54 thousand people. Which actually arguably means it's about time to increase the Scythian ore stockpile limit again by a small amount, but we'll see if I remember that next time. Although we've actually hit the old target, so we are at the point where we are starting to, in theory, export it. Take a look at the trade balance. Oh yeah, we are exporting Scythian ore now. In fact, in theory, we've been doing it for a couple days. Yeah, that was when it started. We didn't export 5,000 Scythian ore. We exported 5,000 denarii Scythian ore. It's worth a lot. You don't need to export very much for it to be worth a lot. So yeah, that's going to make a healthy chunk of change going forward. Not quite as much as the tools, but not bad. Yeah, we can see the treasury is generally increasing, which is good to see. Although we're only in 200,000 at the moment. We got 150 knowledge sitting around. That is probably enough to pick up the hearth and the lights next time. That'll probably be what we do. Let's come and do the hearth and lights. Then we'll do another expansion of the labs. That'll probably be enough to pick up bathhouse. And then maybe the next one will be like grand fighting pit or something like that. There's a couple services left in here, right? We've got bathhouse to add. We got the well to add. The Dondorians don't want the Mashalas Parlor. On the other hand, because the Dondorians don't want it, it might be really good for helping out, say, the Mivians, who want it, and are such a small portion of the population that we might actually be able to fulfill that. We'll think about that. And then at some point, we're going to have to bite the bullet and do the temple. I think we'll do the arena and the well first. A little bit of machinery won't hurt. And then out here on the world map, we're thinking our rivals in the duchy here may start something. And if they start something, I think we will be able to finish it. But we need to wait until at least the freshness of the treaty goes away. We haven't hit 300 there, so there's nothing to do there. We'll see if we remember that next time. And yeah, things are going well. We're gonna start running out of the low-hanging fruit as far as fulfillment is concerned. Probably the first thing I'll go for after we run out of the low-hanging fruit is starting to raise food servings. Probably go from 1 to 2. Then we might try a little bit harder and try to get more beer flowing. You probably can get the gist from that, right? Either that or we'll do furniture. Okay, furniture... So all the food is worth 6 fulfillment. All the furniture is worth 8. All the clothing is worth 7. All the drinks is worth 5. So there's a lot of potential in access, but it's all really expensive from a labor standpoint. Or, well, you can even look at the Scythian ore, right? It's 1.250... Yeah, like 1.2, 1.3 thousand Scythian ore per year. That's just a little bit of Scythian ore. Just a little bit of Scythian ore. To max out the furniture. But, and yeah, Scythian ore is very valuable, so we can come down here and see on our exports. We're making, we're probably selling it to the most expensive person, but that's 304 ore per ore. We make 45 a day right now, so expensive to meet the furniture requirement fully. But there's a lot of potential there, right? We got a lot of potential in expensive things. We're starting to run out of the cheap stuff. It's the best way to think of it. Running out of the cheap stuff. We got torches. We got bathhouses. I've had finicky troubles with bathhouses, but I think it's doable. We got well improvements. Apparently we got some low access to food stalls. We might want to double check where that's happening. And then for some of like the humans or the Amivians or even the Crotonians would like the massage parlors. Our main Dondorians don't care about it because they don't reproduce. You can turn it on, but by default it stays off. Yeah, so we got the Grand Arena, we got the bathhouse, and then it's upgrading a couple of the remaining ones, like the hearth. And then we're gonna have to start doing more expensive stuff. Probably the more expensive thing we're gonna touch first, I think, is the Grand Temple itself. Grand Temple and the shrines. I suppose once we've done that, that introduces another thing we can bring in, which is the Cantors. It's only 27 Cantors, but we're running the right religion. It's one of the reasons we didn't go into the religion earlier, is not because the Cantors aren't good, but because the religion's expensive, because it allows you to have Cantors. So we'll get those 27 Cantors in here. And they're... First of all, they're really easy to please. In comparison to everyone else, they're easy to please. They got basically no service needs. They need to see the well and the hearth and the bathhouse every once in a while. They basically don't eat. They don't drink. They want some clothing. The furniture needs are reasonably expensive, but that's not too bad. They want religion, but to bring them in, you had to have religion, so that's not going to be too hard. So they're really easy to please, all things considered. And then they're really good at very specific tasks. Well, say specific, they're actually quite general. They're like 3x all industry and 3x all mining. Oh, 2x on the industries and 2x on the mines. And then if you were to go the... I thought someone was like 3x on the farms. That's on the farms. No, it doesn't be that way. Yeah, like 2x skill in the mines, 2x skill in the industries. This is the Cantors. The Argonash is the opposite, so if you sort of pick the opposite spectrum of the religion, you get the Argonash, which look really terrible at doing things, but they're also fairly strong, and I think they're also very quick. And you can see they're all aligned one way. The Cantors are all aligned the other way. It says not available in migration, which means you have to meet the requirements with the havens. Yeah, they live like 500 years versus 1,000 years. These guys live basically forever, as long as you don't get them murdered or something. Forget where the eating is in here. Remember, one of these ones basically don't eat. If you know where to look for it, you can probably see it. You can probably already see it. Eat cold. Oh, those guys don't get dirty very often. Okay, yeah, and you can see the Argonaut faster. But those are the ones you can get if you run the extremer religions. The Argonaut are also pretty easy to keep happy. So once we get to the point where we have the Grand Temple going, we can invite these guys in. We've only got access to like 27 of them, but 27 really good people that we can just inject strategically into an industry. It's like, your job is to make this industry really good. Would be wonderful. Yeah. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, honestly, if you're watching on YouTube, I can't guarantee there's going to be a part up tomorrow. Tonight's stream is the last guaranteed stream before I'm going to help someone move. In theory, the truck problem's been sorted out. So unless something comes up where the person I'm carpooling with decides that we're traveling on Friday, this is going to be the last stream before I go. And I am recorded, as of this part, 12 days ahead. That's only 6 days more than normal. So as a side effect, I can't necessarily guarantee there's going to be a part up tomorrow. Because that would require that I have gotten back and recorded within 8 days. The plan right now is to go for the whole week, so like Thursday. So, tomorrow is Thursday, right? Well, today. Today, we rolled over past midnight, so it's now Thursday. From sometime today, later today, to next Friday. And that would be 8 days, so that would be the minimum where there would be a part up tomorrow. But then my dad was thinking potentially going for the weekend too, which would be another day or two. So there may not be a part up tomorrow. There may not be a part up the day after tomorrow. If you're enjoying the series and you want to see more, I recommend subscribing. If for no other reason, then it's easier to come find the playlist. There will be more. There just will be a delay, probably of a day or two, if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, obviously this is the last guaranteed stream before I'm leaving, because I'm basically leaving before the next stream, if everything goes according to plan. If something doesn't go according to plan and it gets delayed until we're leaving early Friday, there may be a stream tomorrow. If there's a stream tomorrow, that will be Planet Crafter. That won't be Songs of Six, that won't be Darkest Dungeon, that won't be Terra Invicta, that will be Planet Crafter. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that, is there may be a stream, maybe one more stream before I go, but that is not the plan. The plan is there not to be one. I'll go ahead and update the schedule after I end the stream here. So if you're watching live on Twitch and you want comments responded to, now is a good time to leave them. If you're watching later on the Twitch VOD or on YouTube, feel free to leave comments over on YouTube. I do try to respond to all the comments on YouTube. Yeah, and yeah, the run is going well. Again, we're up to 3.5k people. And the main populations we're keeping in the city are willing to grow. We just got a problem with the Mivians, and it's a sort of a mismatch problem, right? We're in the worst climate for them. While we're giving them their preferred jobs in theory, they don't want hospitals. Everyone else wants hospitals, so we can't compromise on that. They have to live with hospitals. I think they want specific punishments that we can't compromise on. We got to do the punishments the way the main people need to do. So the Mivians are suffering a little bit, although they're not really suffering. They're not fulfilled enough to encourage more of their kind to move in. So things are as they are. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a part up tomorrow. Oh, there may be a part up tomorrow. There probably won't be. If things go... Basically, if Plan B happens, there won't be a part up for 2 days. If you're watching on Twitch, if things go according to planning or don't go according to plan, there won't be a stream. Or if things don't go according to plan, there will be a stream tomorrow. Else, there will be a stream when I return, and I won't necessarily be able to give much warning for that stream. But the next stream will be Planet Crafter, then it will be Terran Victor the stream after that, then it will be Darkest Dungeon the stream after that, and then the stream after that will be Songs of Six. So we're going to keep the sort of the same schedule, just when the schedule starts back up again is not fully set in stone yet. So before I keep rambling on and going around and around in circles, I'm going to refresh the chat and probably bring the YouTube recording to a close. But yeah, so with that, I'm going to wish everyone on YouTube the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.